Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Zenith Chronomaster El Primero caliber 410 complete calendar moon phase. You can see and you can purchase this rose gold complete calendar chronometer chronograph on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing for this and our entire inventory of Zenith timepieces. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference, this is the model of classical elegance. The size is good. It's not a traditionally sized watch, so it's not a 35 to 38. It's 40 millimeters across the round of the case, not including chronograph pushers or crown, so it has a good wrist presence, but it's nice and compact across the wrist, measuring 46.6 millimeters from extremity to extremity. So in my estimation, you could wear this on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference with a good appearance of proportion and security. In terms of thickness, it's actually thinner than it looks in profile. The triple gadron bezel is rather dramatic, as is the domed sapphire, but all told, it only measures 13.3 millimeters thick, which is quite acceptable for a dress watch given just how ramp-shaped the flank of the case is. You'll have no trouble slipping it underneath a tight dress cuff. Now it does have a nice physical heft to it, all in rose gold, and this is a particularly fetching shade of rose. We tend to use the terms red, pink, rose, even honey gold interchangeably. This appears rosier than most. It has a distinct red tone to it, somewhere between what's conventionally called rose and red, but it is very striking. It's anything but generic, and it really comes across in person. Now the watch has superb case lines. As you can see, the definition along the flanks of the lugs and the flanks of the bezel are redolent of 1990s Zenith design, which is to say, something approaching a golden era in design for the company. This era is well remembered, and this model series in particular is particularly revered. It is something that represented the flagship of the company at the time. It was their most deluxe case in precious metal with their most deluxe caliber, the 410, in the highest standard of adjustment chronometer. All of this together in a single beautifully proportioned, beautifully sized package. Now you'll note there is a substantial sheer cut, gloss, black alligator leather strap. It has a monotone stitch on the underside. It is supple calfskin. Of course, it is a Zenith factory strap, and the strap is brand new. The buckle is the correct Zenith piece, rose gold, handsome, easily adjusted, classically low in profile. Now you can see the case, of course, all in high polish. Normally a combination of colored gold and high polish can overwhelm, but with the strong character lines that lend the watch both charm and elegance, as well as the size of the watch, which is manageable. 43, 44, 45, and rose gold starts to get overpowering. Here, it appears classically handsome. Now you'll also notice that the dial gives as good as it gets from the case, which is to say, it's almost Baroque with its combination of guilloche pattern. You can see there's actually an undulating sunray guilloche within each of the sub-registers, a sort of clou de Paris cross-hatching across the center dial, a metallic brushed and matte combination across the tachymetric scale, as well as the minutes register. And then you can note all applied and polished stylized Roman numerals with faceted dart-style indices at certain segments of the dial. Easy to read the hours thanks to large and nicely faceted rose gold hands at center in a Dauphine style. It's a beautiful watch. There's a lot going on here between the different finishes, the different colors and textures, as well as the day, the month, the date, and the moon phase, but it doesn't overwhelm. It's beautifully balanced, and I'll say this too. Though larger watches were produced using the Chronomaster case profile, and larger watches have been produced using the caliber 410 complete calendar, it looks most balanced and best proportioned in this case and this dial size. Any larger and it appears to get lost as the underlying caliber and module simply aren't large enough to fill out cases much over 40 millimeters. On the reverse side, equally beautiful. Now you can see this is the chronometer spec caliber 410, something that was more or less discontinued with the exception of special models after 2002. It's only in the last 3 years that Zenith has really taken back up the practice of chronometer certifying small runs of watches, generally flagship or commemorative limited edition pieces. And again, the individual numbering on the rotor is the number of the movement corresponding to its chronometer certificate. 31 joules. It has the high beat 10 beat per second El Primero. Of course, 36,000 vibrations per hour. It is the hallmark of the movement. It's one of the reasons why, against the ear, it has a double step cadence. And as you view the chronograph seconds hand, it seems smoother, almost stepless compared to a 21,600 vibration movement or a 28.8. Of course, it's also column wheel actuated, and if you turn the watch over, you can see the column wheel and you can see the interaction of the column wheel function selector with the levers and horns that control the chronograph. Of course, the El Primero featuring the column wheel is a tactile pleasure to use. Why do you want a column wheel after all? Because you hear it, you feel it, and you get the sensation of a higher quality instrument in the hand. Harder to tune, more traditional, but it's the only way the El Primero has ever been constructed. Now you can see the lateral clutch moving in, now it moves in, now it moves out. A small gap opened to the chronograph center wheel. You can see the driving wheel, the intermediate wheel, and the yoke. The driving wheel runs off the fourth wheel of the civil time drivetrain. The El Primero has always been a good-looking movement too. The combination of levers, horns, wheels, yokes, pivots, eccentric screws, column wheel, it's handsome to look at. Many modern vertical clutch integrated chronograph calibers are actually quite dull to behold. So part of the appeal of this movement is actually its anachronistic layout. While the movement may have a sort of vintage charm about its construction, the rest of the watch, dial, case, and profile have not dated at all. You can see this modern classic and own it on our website.